Hey everyone. So we have some special guests today that I'm hoping will get close enough for me to be able to get some video for you. The last little bit in the harbor, like maybe the last week. So the harbor is kind of a safe enough place for seals to have their babies at, and like to raise them, until they're kind of old enough to be on their own. And seals are really interesting because there's a few of them right over there. But I can't show it to you. They're just a little bit too far away. Anyways, seals are interesting because, so I don't know about you, but before I moved here, I always thought that seals were born knowing how to swim, but they're actually not. So when a seal is born, it has to be taught how to swim by its mother. And a seal is an animal that, I forget the exact term. It's like peeking up at me. It's so cute. But like after the baby is born, and actually even after the mother is impregnated, the daddy takes off and the mommy raises the baby pretty much alone. Although sometimes seals will kind of gather together if there's a good spot, and they'll kind of collectively raise all the babies together. And that's kind of what we have here. So I'm going to show you. So there's like that yellow thing, and so that's called a linear moorage, and it used to be where boats would tie up to. Actually, we were tied up there last year, but it's condemned now. They're going to take it out because there's something wrong at the bottom of it, like with the foundation where it's attached, like at the bottom of the water. But right now there's some logs tied up to it, just temporarily. But so there's a log, and there's at the bottom of those, there's like logs. So logs. Sitting on the other side of this log, there's a couple of little babies, and right now their moms are hunting for food, and this is like a pretty protected spot for them to hang out. Can you see it? It keeps sticking its head up and kind of peeking over at us, because they're really curious. They're not born with like a fear of a lot of things quite yet. I mean, they're hesitant, but they're very curious because seals are incredibly smart animals, and so they want to come and investigate and check things out. And that's something else that's really interesting about baby seals, is like if you're kayaking around or something, they'll come right up to you because they want to see what's going on. So the mother seals, not only do they have to teach them how to swim, but they have to teach them kind of to be wary of potential predators, because baby seals will go up to things like people or dogs on beaches, which can hurt them. Like my dog, he'll hurt a seal for sure. And so right now we've got a couple of them hanging out over there. And I actually just learned something about them. So I'd never heard a seal vocalize before, like make a sound. It's really hot today. Because seals actually mostly communicate non-verbally, because they spend a lot of time in the water. So a lot of a seal's communication with another seal is like body language, the way they tilt their heads, the way they're moving, especially like in their face. But a baby seal needs to be able to get its mother's attention really quickly, so it actually will make a sound to get its mother's attention, and it sounds exactly like they're yelling, "Mom!" I don't want to say it too loudly because it'll draw the mothers away, and they need to hunt and kind of replenish themselves. But it just sounds like they're swimming around yelling for their mothers, and it's adorable. And so he's looking at me again. Hey, little guy. So seals are a kind of animal called pinnipeds. Like we talked about, classifications of living creatures and things like that in a video before. Pinnipeds are animals, not just seals, but sea lions, walruses. The mommy brought it back some food. Let's see if you can see it. I don't know. They're kind of like, no. Okay. So I'll just face it this way and talk to you. You see them? So yeah, they're pinnipeds. And they're pretty closely related to canines, so dogs. But I mean, not like directly related. They actually sleep in the water most of the time, especially once they get older. And they'll basically just be like floating in the water, vertically asleep. Oh, can you see it? Its head is, and then they just have an automatic reflex to go up, take a breath of air, and go back down. And that's how they sleep. And they can just sleep that way, like for all the time they need to sleep. They spend almost all of their time in the water, unless they need to haul out of the water to basically just regulate their body temperature, or just kind of stretch out, socialize, mate, that kind of thing. But it's been really cool seeing the babies here. So there's 2 babies and 2 mommies here. Seals typically only have 1 pup at a time. So there's one that's old enough to kind of be on its own a little bit, but it's still, you can tell it's not comfortable without its mother. It'll kind of yell for her if she goes for too long. But there's another one that doesn't even really know how to swim. And so the mother carries it on its back whenever if she has to be gone for a while. And then she'll kind of duck under the water for a while to give it a chance to kind of practice swimming on its own, and then she comes back up underneath it to lift it out of the water so he can have some rest and chance to breathe. So she carries it around on her back all over the harbor. And the other one knows how to swim and how to breathe and things, but he doesn't know how to hunt, and I'm pretty sure he's still nursing, because I've seen him snuggled up really close to the mommy. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I wish I could get you a better video, but that's just the nature of cell phones, unfortunately. And the same kind of log jam that's over here. The other night we had a juvenile sea lion, which is, again, a pinniped, but a much larger animal. Although he was a juvenile, so a bit smaller, because sea lions can get up to about 1,500 pounds. This guy was only about the size of a seal, so maybe about 500 pounds, or about, I don't know, yeah, maybe around in there. But he was kind of practicing his, sea lions do vocalize a lot. They make a lot of noise. They're the ones you kind of think of from movies and stuff, like, arr, 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 arr. And he was practicing that, but he was doing it pretty quietly, because if he gets too loud, he'll kind of challenge the ones in the area who are bigger, and he's not ready for that. He's just practicing. But it was cool to see him out here kind of, doing his thing. But yeah, so I had been wanting to talk to you all about pinnipeds and how just wonderful they are, and I love them. And he's peeking at me again. And I think next time we're going to talk about some physics, actually. Newton's second law and lift, actually, like the principle of lift, like with an airplane. So, yeah, be sure to watch that as well. I hope you're having a great August now. And, yeah, let me know what you guys think. Bye.